Welcome to Quiet Courage, the podcast for anybody ready to show up and be seen. I'm Keisha, and here we explore self-worth, courage, and personal growth with action steps, personal stories, and encouragement to help you claim your power and live confidently. Remembering, your worth isn't something you have to earn. Here, we practice living in it every day. So let's take small, brave steps together and start building the lives we've been dreaming of. Hello and welcome to another episode of Quiet Courage. This is Keisha, your host, and I'm so excited to talk to you about stepping out of hiding because this is something that I've done on repeat in my life until I became aware of what I was doing. So if you've ever felt like you're fading into the background, this is an episode for you. Okay. So I realized I had been living my life for other people and I'd been giving, and I lost myself in the process. And that was part of, I was giving so much and I was not doing anything for myself. I was kind of hiding in the background. Hiding had become a lifestyle for me. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What does hiding look like? Hiding can be subtle. Hiding yourself can be saying yes to everything to avoid conflict, right? You're hiding your inner self. And you're hiding when you're overwhelmed, and you're hiding what you need in order to not be in conflict. Hiding can be giving up your dreams so everyone else is comfortable. That's a form of hiding who you are. And it kind of relates to the same thing. So you don't have to step into conflict. So you don't have to make space for what you want and the dreams that are in your heart, right? Hiding can also be not posting your opinions online or blocking people out of your life for fear of their judgment or being a spectator in your own life. So that's when other people are the main stories, or sometimes what I used to do is I'd go out, but I would end up watching people instead of interacting and doing my own thing, kind of being an observer. And I realized right now, I'm not the main part of my story. It's focused on a lot of other people. And if God gave me this life, I better live it, right? Instead of just watching other people and letting other people lead. If God gave me strong morals to stand on, a strong conviction and dreams in my heart, I better learn the skills of showing up so that I can live this life that I've been given, right? So I want you guys to ask yourself a question. Have you ever put your life on hold for someone else? Or where in your life are you quietly disappearing? Okay? Because there is a cost to hiding, even if you're hiding in plain sight. So there's a time in my life where I put motherhood first for years and neglected my personal goals, which is, being a mother is one of the biggest honors of a life, right? Because raising the next generation. And it is extremely important to do a good job. However, you don't need to neglect yourself in the process, right? So for me, it started as a season. And I'm okay, well, I'm going to put all this stuff off right now because I'm busy, raising kids. I'll come back to it. But then the day was busy, couldn't get to it. The week became busy, couldn't get to it. The month became busy. Well, I'll just do this next month. Okay, this 6 month is busy. I'll do the next 6 months. And the season of putting it off became chronic. It never ended. There's always more and more to do, right? So the cost of putting off your dreams or putting off speaking out or putting off being who you are, the cost of hiding, it's not empty like some people think it is. The cost of hiding can lower your self-worth because subconsciously we can learn that, I'm not worthy of taking care of myself, or my dreams don't really matter, it's everybody else's. We can unintentionally start these negative self-worth beliefs just by hiding, right? So you don't need to sacrifice your life to be a good parent. You don't need to sacrifice your life for the needs around you. And by life, I mean like your needs and your wants and who you are, right? Because you need to show up in this life. So the small intentional actions for yourself can really improve your energy, and they can improve your mindset. What do you want to do? What are your goals? Do you know? Okay, the first place would be to find out what do you want to do. And it doesn't have to be big or crazy. It can be something extremely small. Like, I would like to journal every day for 5 minutes. I just like to write something down. Okay? It can be simple, but learning to etch out that time for yourself can improve your energy, and it can improve your mindset because you're taking care of yourself, and subconsciously you're showing yourself that you're worthy of showing up for, right? And then that also has another chain effect. If your children, especially if you're raising girls, but boys also, like if you are not showing up for yourself, they're seeing how a woman behaves by your example. So not intentionally, but they are learning that when they get older, they're not going to show up for themselves. Like, we don't want that cycle, right? So showing up for yourself is so good. And that part of that is stop hiding, right? So here's a few reasons of why we hide. Fear of judgment, right? Hiding our opinions so other people don't judge us. Or hiding that our different ways of parenting, right? Oh goodness, because people judge parents all the time, right? You can only judge them until you're a parent, then you understand that it's not so easy. We can hide what we really want for fear of conflict or disappointment if we lie to ourselves in general. And then if we lie to ourselves that we never really wanted that thing, then we don't get disappointed, right? That's a form of hiding, okay? It can also be conditioning from past experiences, right? This family member always expects you to be small. So you hide and be small, right? It's easier than conflict. Or is it? There's also like hiding can feel safe, and it can feel extremely safe temporarily, but it also costs the confidence and clarity. So you might want to ask yourself, how much of your life is guided by what others think of you? That's a really important question, and can be, it can shed light on where you're hiding, right? So if you're like, oh my gosh, I've been hiding in lots of areas of my life, here's some personal steps that you can take. So asking for something different as at a restaurant. I started doing this, and it sounds super silly, but like I was in the habit of hiding so much that I had to start asking for what I wanted in super small ways, and I still got sweaty. Okay. Like, so I would start like, if there was like, say I was at a Mexican restaurant and I wanted this enchilada, but it had red sauce, and then I'd ask the waiter to change the sauce. Like, as I'm saying it, like it almost seems silly to me, but like that's where I needed to start. I needed to start with like those small little conversations. And then I started speaking up when someone said something unkind to me, instead of just like letting it go and being like, whatever, like I'm not going to bring it up because it's not like, I don't want to make the issue bigger. And I wouldn't speak up in a way that was like, would make things explode, but I started naming it. So for example, if someone says something unkind to me, I'm like, that wasn't nice. Or I'd say, you're really twisting my words. Just a statement, nothing to make things explode, but like it was a practice for me to stand up in who I was and not to hide back from confrontation. And like, confrontation is okay. I know that if you're listening to this podcast, you probably don't like confrontation. Okay. But confrontation is okay once you get through it, right? The fear is bigger than what it actually is. But if you're needing to take these small, brave steps, just naming it is important, right? So I also was deathly afraid of speaking in front of people, which I feel like a lot of people are. And this is probably 3 years ago, I started going live every day, Monday through Friday, for like 2 years straight. And part of it was like, I just need to do this. I need to develop the skill, right? So I chose to be uncomfortable and to be sweaty and to just try to develop the skill, which eventually I did with all of these skills. They're hard at first, and then the more you do them, they get easier and easier and easier. So when I started doing live videos online, right, I would just like educate about my garden or like whatever topics that came about. There was numerous times where I would start a video and then all of the words in my brain that I was going to say would disappear. And I'd click end and cancel as fast as I could, and then I'd log on, and then I'd delete that video, and then I'd like, okay, take a deep breath, write down what I want to say, write bullet points so I can look at it, and then I can like look at the screen and look at my note card like next to each other, and I would try again. And sometimes I'd have to delete that video 3 times before I actually got up before my body was calm enough to form sentences. So I'm not saying it was easy, but I took that small step, right? And at first the videos, they were bad because I was sweaty and I was like breathing hard, and like people could probably tell I was nervous. I'm a blusher, so my face was probably red, like all the things. But as I continued to work in this skill, it got easier. And then the thought of like I was at a vendor event, somebody's like, hey, like let's do a live video. It didn't, like, none of my personal alarms went off, right? I didn't get sweaty. I didn't get anxious. I kind of like knew how, like, the words just came to me when I was talking. So it's a skill, right? And my point in this is that the things that seem huge and crazy to like becoming yourself and stepping out of the hiding in your life, they will become easier. Okay. And so the first step to this is to have some courage, right? Courage is built. Like in courage, we build our confidence. Okay. So because we all want to feel confident, I think that's a huge reason for people hiding, is because they just don't feel confident, right? I would talk to that group if I was confident. I would go out more if I like felt good in my body, like all these different lies that women tell ourselves around confidence. But confidence is built with courage, okay? So the first step is you're not going to feel confident right away if you haven't done something. Courage is the building blocks. So we start small and we just consistently act and take that little step of confidence, right? Confidence, or little step of courage. Confidence is the result of practicing courage repeatedly. And pretty soon you won't even know it. Like, but then you'll be looking back and be like, oh my gosh, I actually feel super confident doing that. For example, now I can go to a restaurant and I can ask for exactly what I like. When somebody is rude to me, and I can name it. I'm still not going to come at them because that still makes me uncomfortable, but I don't want to do that, but I can name it, right? And it's easier. I can order and adjust my order at a restaurant and not think anything of it, but because that's a skill that I have developed, wherever you're hiding in your life and you decide that, okay, I want to step out, even if it's like at your kids' school, you're like, you know what? There's like 4 moms that I think would be really cool to talk to and develop a friendship. I'm going to start asking them about their day. Okay. So where are you going to step out? And you're going to have courage first, but eventually, as you continue practicing that skill, it will lead to confidence. Okay. So I'd like you to think about your week and think about what is one small step, one small brave action that you can take this week. Okay. And remember that courage comes first, and then confidence follows that experience. And you're building that muscle, and the more you practice, the stronger you get. Okay. So even the tiniest, bravest action, like you could even choose to change the story that you're telling yourself. Okay. And I feel like this one is so, so good because we all tell ourselves stories about what things mean, what people think of us, like all the reasons we don't measure up. We tell ourselves stories. What if you change the story? What if that's your little courage thing for this week? If instead of you telling yourself, oh, they don't talk to me because they don't like me. What if you change the story like, oh, they don't talk to me because they don't know me yet? Change that story. Honestly, a shift in a story like that will make you more likely to reach out, right? Okay. So you deserve to take up space in your own life. That is why hiding in your own life needs to be addressed. The world needs you as you. It doesn't need you as a reflection of other people. It doesn't need you to completely give your life away and serve and forget who you are, right? You deserve to pursue your dreams, even if you have responsibilities. It doesn't mean you're giving up all your responsibilities. It's meaning you're going to carve out 10, 15, 20 minutes for yourself to pursue what you want to pursue, right? And if you are feeling a little bit of pressure from you're like, oh my gosh, I'm hiding in my life and I feel like a failure. Hiding isn't failure. It's an opportunity to start practicing courage. Okay? So if you're like, I'm hiding in pretty much every aspect of my life. Well, welcome to the club. So was I. Okay? That's where I started at. If you need to start at a restaurant asking a stranger to change your menu, to change your meal, that's it. Like, it's no shame at all. Okay. But here's what we know. We know courage is the first step to confidence. And together we practice showing up, taking brave steps, and building it every day. Right? And remember that we're in this together. We're taking small brave steps every day as a community. We're learning, we're growing, and we're showing up for ourselves. So I want you to ask yourself, what is one small courageous step I can take this week? Right? We've already kind of talked about it, but just I honestly want you to like jot it down if you're not driving and pick out that step, pinpoint it so it gets done, right? And it could be a daily step that you're taking this week. Like every day this week, I'm going to talk to a stranger, or I'm going to say hi to the cashier, or it could be like a weekly thing. Like once a week, I'm actually going to go to a workout class that I've been wanting to go to, right? That's showing up for your life. Okay. So recap, hiding is common and it's understandable. Courage starts small, compounds into confidence. Small, consistent, brave steps helps you reclaim your life. Eventually, those hard things will become easy. It does. It happens. I promise. And your self-worth is inherent, but standing in it takes practice. Okay? You're doing more than being confident when you take those small action steps. You're actually going to start rewiring some of those inner thoughts about yourself. Just think about it. Think about if you have this thought frame about, I don't have any friends. I don't have friends. People don't like me. Like, it's just, I'm a better loner. Okay. If you have that thought process, but then you decide to take this small step of you're going to say hi to the cashiers, you're going to talk to the moms at your school, you're going to like just initiate conversation. If that's your small step, eventually this story that you've been telling yourself is going to start changing, right? So those small steps can change the story that you're telling yourself. It can change how you feel about your self-worth. It can change how you see yourself and how you show up. It has huge compound effects. So I'm so excited for you to start taking that one change, that one little step to start moving yourself out of hiding and be seen, because I see you and I believe in you and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Quiet Courage. Remember, courage is the first step to confidence, and together we practice showing up, taking brave steps, and building that confidence every day. If this episode encouraged you, I'd be so thankful if you'd share with a friend. Keep taking those small steps, and I'll see you on the next episode.